Just wanted to talk a little bit more about this painting behind me. I painted it a couple of weeks ago, and so I've had it on the wall, and I've been looking at it, and sometimes when I'm making a painting, it starts off really about the idea of the image, and then as the image unfolds, there's the focus on the figure, and then what the figure's doing, and then sort of what's around the figure, sort of props, if you like. And I'm not always certain exactly what the painting's going to mean, or if it's going to mean anything at all. But I've been looking at this piece, and as I painted it, I wasn't too sure what was going to go on the table. I had all sorts of suggestions from people, from cats to goldfish bowls to bowls of fruit. But I decided books, because I think we're at a time where books are sort of, I guess, struggling to be used as much. They're sort of making way for screen, social media, devices, etc. Although I try to maintain the discipline of reading for probably not as much time each day as I should, probably about an hour. Now concentration spans seem to have decreased over time. I think we're so used to just taking bites of information, just enough to get the answers that we want. We're often taking those bites out of context. So actually sitting down and reading a book from cover to cover and taking in exactly what the writer has been trying to say it's a really important thing. And on that, throughout history, books have often been either banned or heavily audited, controlled, burned. I remember during my travels, one really outstanding, sort of not really a sculpture, it was a inner city sort of installation piece, which on approach was just a glass, a window looking down into a hole, and when you approached that hole you could see that it was lit up inside, and all that was inside the hole was white bookshelves without anything in them, and that was symbolizing the burning of the books and the control that was taking place during the Second World War. So that really had an impact on me, and it wasn't long after that I went through the Czech Republic and I decided to read George Orwell's Animal Farm. So obviously a statement on socialism, etc., and a lot of stuff that was going on at that time. And I'm now, for the first time, just starting 1984. So obviously another George Orwell. And I don't read a lot of that sort of thing, but they are important books. And so, yeah, back to this painting. Obviously, she is in the middle of reading a book. The painting has a very structured, geometric, uniform, very solid sort of feel about it. The room from our visible foreground to the back wall isn't very deep, so it really pushes everything out into your space as you look at it. There's sort of nowhere else you can look. You can't wander off onto the horizon and into the distant hills like you can with a lot of sort of classical composition. So that's a lot of the time why those hills, etc., were put there, is to give you somewhere else to look, to give your eye a rest from the main subject and a chance to wander off and just have a rest. So there's no chance of doing that in this painting. Everything is there, you have to look at it. And so amidst this quite organised composition, there's this pile of books, and they're quite messy. I'm I'm not sure whether she's been hurriedly looking through them, but they definitely draw your eye, and there's this very slight pyramid shape in them, which is always a strong shape that draws the eye. And the more I look at it, the more I think maybe she's inviting you to go and look at the books and to read, to find out what's in them. The fact that they're a bit haphazard, slapdash, maybe they've been put there hurriedly, maybe they're not supposed to be there at all, I don't know. She's got a very classic sort of 1950s look about her, as does the colour palette, which is deliberate, and obviously 50s is post World War II, so yeah, there's quite a lot to think about in there. It's not, I didn't set out to make it a deliberately symbolic painting, but like I say, when I live with a painting on my wall for a little while, I tend to start looking for things, and yeah, this is what I've discovered in it. So I wonder what you can see in it. As you can see, it's quite a big piece, so it's quite a statement. It's about 1.5 meters by a meter, and yeah, really, there's a statement on the wall, and it's only a small wall. This is, you know, my studio, so yeah, I'd love to see it on a big blank white wall. That would really just allow it to breathe and make the statement that it needs to make. So yeah, thanks for listening. If you watch this right to the end, congratulations. You can find more out about me on my website, which is brycebrownart.com, and my Instagram and Facebook accounts are both Bryce Brown Art. So yeah, thanks once again, and watch out for more videos. Cheers.